Hello everyone, this is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give my Season 2, Episode 5 review of Peaky Blinders. So in this episode, everything goes to hell. So, as I mentioned in the previous review, there was a deal made between Alfie Solomon and Sabini. And also, in this episode, what's going on is the fact that Campbell actually outsmarted Tommy Shelby. And if you guys, obviously y'all have seen at least 2 seasons worth of this show, you see that Tommy rarely gets outsmarted, but Campbell really got him. It was like everyone came at him all at once at the right, precise moment. To the point when I watched the episode, I thought that Campbell was probably in cahoots with both Sabini and Alfie Solomon. That wasn't the case, but that was just how perfectly executed the whole thing was. So this is what happens. We have Arthur and Billy Kitchens and some of Billy Kitchens' men having this Passover dinner with Alfie Solomon, and we see that Arthur's really trying to basically make a real good impression on Solomon, saying shalom, talking about Passover, the Jewish history. I think at one point even Alfie was really impressed with Arthur's knowledge of Passover and their time over in Egypt and the whole Moses story, so on and so forth. So while this is going on, you see the guy which Arthur basically mained with the sharp edge of the bottle in the previous episode when they took over the club that was previously owned by Sabini. You see that guy start to close the door, and that some of Tommy's men are in there enjoying a good drink, whatever. So something's up. Obviously, since we know that the betrayal was set in motion in the previous episode. So we have Solomon mention the fact how the Egyptians treated the Israelites treat them as crap, and that at some point they were going to get there. So when he mentioned that, Billy Kitchens noticed something was off. He could feel something was off, and he told Arthur, "Yo, something is going down here. We gotta get out of here." And then as soon as he said it, I think Solomon just shot him dead, and then everyone just started to grab on Arthur and any of the men that they had with him. And at one point, then they had Arthur tied up against a post, and Solomon did. I think he probably beat him or something. Not like severely beat him, but he beat him enough for which he was unconscious. And while this is happening, you have Sabini and his men coming to the club. They took the club back from Tommy, basically. They took it over, and they said to send a message to Tommy, and they cut the men's face with knives, straight down, one after the other. So while this is going on, Michael is also arrested by Campbell and his men. And when Aunt Polly is trying to save the boy, saying, "You're not going to take away my son again," Campbell pins her, against the car in a weird kind of sexual way, in a sense. And he whispers to her ear that Tommy Shelby's time on top is over. It's finished. And then Michael heads off to jail. So the next day, Tommy is obviously pissed off. He's like, "Yo, we had a deal. I'm supposed to be your trigger man to kill this guy. Why'd you do this?" And basically, Campbell said the reason why he did that, why he couldn't sleep at night, is what Tommy told him in the previous episode, basically about how if he dies, then Campbell dies. So he realized that Tommy does not care about dying. But Tommy's main weakness is his family. So since Arthur has basically doing prostitution and gambling and basically doing drugs, especially the cocaine, his cocaine has gone out of control. That's another reason why he's in jail. But the main reason is the fact that Solomon framed him for murder, for killing Billy Kitchens. And we know Billy Kitchens is a part of the Black Country group. So they think that Arthur killed him. So that's just a double whammy right there. And he's in prison for murder, and also, the Black Country boys are supposed to be an ally. Now they may be enemies due to that. So that was really smart on Solomon's part as well as Campbell's. And also Sabini took back the club. So Campbell also let Tommy know that Michael's in jail for arson, even though Michael wasn't responsible for it. For John and Arthur for burning the place down, that bar that I mentioned in the previous episode about that racist prick, that starts up with him. But Michael confessed to it, even though Campbell did say it took him a while for going to beat the crap out of him, admitting the boy was quite tough and resilient. And he also dropped this little nugget to Tommy as well, that he could also take out his sister, you know, and that those policemen that she mentioned, those are most likely Campbell's men. So he said he could take her out anytime he wants, or make up some type of ridiculous charge. So he basically has Tommy's attention, and he says, listen, my dad always told me, in order to make a dog obey you, you got to show him your big stick. And that he was always ahead of the game when it came to Tommy. He made Tommy think that he was behind the 8 ball. Then he leaves. So Tommy obviously is discombobulated. Like, this is like the second time in this series which we see him like discombobulated, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the first one. I mean, the first time when we seen him like in season 1. Because he at least got his bearings back. He was able to create something like off the top of his hat. Off the top of his head. This one, he was completely, like, took off guard by this. His brother's in jail, and his cousin's in jail. His sister's in danger, and his whole operation has been screwed up due to Sabini and Solomon's, betrayal. Well, mainly Solomon's betrayal, but Sabini's, manipulation and cleverness, and also his savagery. So he goes to have a meeting with what's left of his family. John, his wife, some of his men, his main men, and Aunt Polly. So obviously Aunt Polly's really scared and frustrated the fact that her son Michael has been arrested. So she wants to talk about Michael first, and then Tommy has reminded, hey, business first, then we'll get to Michael. So John tells him that basically the police had raided everything, their whiskey, their production trucks, like everything, basically. And like they barely have anything remaining. So what's going to happen? So what are they going to do? So John's wife, Esme, mentions the fact that she could get some of her family, the Lees, to basically be to come into the fray and help help Tommy out. Polly's pissed. She's like, listen, they're not family. You're not family. You're not blood. There's nothing to do with them. Or you. So get out and tell them to leave. We'll handle this. And then Tom's like, no, we need their help. So everyone leaves. Esme tells John to leave. And then she tries to speak to Tommy. So I believe, if we remember correctly from the opening episode of season 2, she did mention to Tommy that if he went to London and tried to do that crap in London, this would be the end result. You're dealing with gangs that basically have connections, with the police. And that's mainly Sabini's, that's how Sabini's protected, because he has friends in high places with the police. That's how he's being protected. Solomon is just through his will and just the fact that this dude just freaking scary. But Sabini, that's how Sabini really gets around. And she's trying to convince Tommy to leave this all behind, that they all should go to France or some crap. But Tommy just grabbed by her face like, listen, I've been to France, so is your husband, so has our brother. Okay? Now, just give me your family's help. But if you do that again, I will cut you literally, and also I will cut you from this family. So he made his point. So also during this episode, we have Grace and Tommy meet after 2 years. Because remember, it's been a 2-year time skip from season 1 to now, season 2. So they catch up and they actually do have sex again. So, which is kind of weird and kind of funny at the same time, because like Tommy's trying to break it up with his current, I want to say girlfriend, more like friends with benefits, Mae Charlton. But he's still, you could tell they still have that, that vibe, that connection, if you will. So besides that, we had Tommy meeting, I believe, his sister Ada's roommate James, who was homosexual, I think, or Ada's not interested, something along them lines. So, or was it the previous episode? Whatever. What is this? So while all this is going down, Tommy decides how to take out Henry Russell. He finds out the best way for him to take out Henry Russell is for basically to do things on his terms, on his time, and would be a really neutral place for him to do it. It would be easier for him to kill him. So he tells Campbell that he's going to kill Henry Russell over at Epsom, which is the Derby race, which is very important for him to begin with, because we all know about the horses and blah, blah, blah. The The family loves horses and also is really good for their operations and the gambling and the bets, so on and so forth. So Campbell begrudgingly agrees. So the last thing I want to mention in this episode is the fact that Campbell basically makes, well, he doesn't really make, in a way he does, but Campbell has Aunt Polly have sex with him in order to free Michael from prison. And I thought that was a very creepy and very, like, what the freak is going on, kind of scene. So that screwed with her mentally. And also, think about it, Arthur's also trapped in prison. So, yeah, a lot of things happened. I'm looking forward to how, the finale is going to go. Well, thank you guys for watching my review and discussion. I'll give this episode like a 9 out of 10. I really liked how, like, this episode, you really didn't know what the freak was going to happen. Like, you didn't know, like, if Tommy was going to get taken out at some point in this episode. Like, and just to see him so rattled was just, like cray-cray. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Adios, and I'll have the season 2 finale video up quite soon. Adios.